So we find ourselves back in the apartment. And if you guys seen in past videos, we are back doing something that we've done already, which is paint the cabinets. All these cabinet doors were painted, and I'm back repairing something. And as you can see, we have some bleed through of some Sharpie markers. So it looks like these marks were put when the cabinets were made, the cabinet doors were made. And unfortunately, it has bled through to the paint. And it's only these two. So what we're going to be doing is, I went out and got some of this Bear paint, which is multi-surface stain blocking primer and sealer. So I'm going to be putting about 2 coats of this stuff on these doors to prime it, prep it, and stop that mark, those 2 marks, from coming through. I've never used this stuff before. Home Depot didn't have what I usually use, so I'm just going to go and use this new product. So I'm gonna set up the camera, prep the paint, and put the first coat. I'm gonna be putting 2, by the way, so let's start that. Now that the first coat is on, it's still bleeding through just a bit, as you can see right about there. So while this dries and then we put the next coat on, there's something else I have to do. And I'm going to be using this self-leveling sealant and my special battery caulk gun. And the work is right behind this stove. So let's move it so I can show you what it is. So what I'm doing back here is I'm gonna vacuum out this edge right along here, also here. And I am going to be using the self-leveling sealant to fill these gaps. It's for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't want food falling in there and then, you know, getting old, attracting cockroaches and mice. And that is the other worry. We live here in Brooklyn, New York, where pests love this place, especially in the winter. And we're right at the point that the winter is coming. So I am going to be putting the sealant in there to stop rodents from coming in and out as they please, and stopping food from falling in there, like I said. So this is the equipment we are going to be using. This is the sealant we're going to be using. I'm going to be cutting a small little tiny sliver on top so that we could get really deep in here without making a mess on the painted wall. So let me set up the camera and start that up. So there you go. I have used a whole tube of caulk and we filled it up. I'm gonna let it not cure, but set, better said, and then we'll throw some more. I don't think that 2 tubes are enough, so I might have to get another tube, but we'll see. We'll go with it. As you guys saw, I also put a piece of tape here because this stuff is extremely runny, as you can see. Out of precaution, I made sure that I used some Lysol and I sprayed it and then rubbed it off with this, and with a Bounty I picked it up. But yeah, that stuff is very runny. So the next coat, I'm gonna put blue tape like you guys saw me do on this side, so that when it's runny, I don't have to worry about it falling on the tile. I'll probably put a piece of paper too. But for now, let's give this another coat. So just give it the second squirt, let's call it. And over here we might have to put a little bit more. It keeps sinking, so I'm just gonna let it dry, and I'll put another little piece like you guys saw and squirt some more in there. But for the most part, everything's looking good, and there will not be no rodents coming in or attacking this home, or food going in there, which was the main goal. Now over here, this stuff, this paint is very thin, and it wasn't blocking out the marker stains, so I had to give it 4 coats, as you guys saw. So I'm just gonna let this 100% cure for like another half an hour, and then I'm going to apply the other paint, which actually, let me show you what it is, which is the finished paint. So this is the paint we're gonna be using. It's Scuff X Satin Finish Super White. The reason why I use Scuff X on both the walls and doors is because this stuff cures like a plastic, so it's very thick and durable. And if you were to get a mark on it, you could mark or a hole, you could just quickly patch it and roll over it with a little bit of paint, and you're good. It disappears. So we're going to be applying this next as soon as that dries, like I said, and we're good. If you guys are interested in seeing how I painted my cabinet, I'll leave a link to the video like around here or here. I don't know what side it is. I always forget. It's the right side on the screen, but I don't know what side is it when the camera's facing me, but whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the link there so you guys can see how I painted all these cabinet doors. It's very simple. It's just a lot of repeating, and yeah, a lot of repeating. So I'm gonna let this dry and then finish those last coats. So I filled up that hole, that line, whatever you want to call it, up, and it's looking good. It blends well. And I got this door mounted, but I am having some problems with the drawer. Now let me show you what's the problem. As you guys can see, or I'll try to show you, I don't know if the camera could pick it up, but this white paint, this right here, is creating a texture on it.
it's like, oh, you can see it now. You see that? I don't know why is that happening. I don't know if it's because I'm using a roller that is 3/8. I used a 1/4" nap and a 3/8, and it happened. The same thing keeps happening. It's like bumpy, as you guys can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this 100% cure or dry, and tomorrow I'm going to take it and sand it and then apply it again. But I might just be waiting another day. That has 2 coats on it, so I'm gonna let it dry, sand it, and then give it another coat or 2 to see if that figures it out. It's extremely annoying, this whole process. I thought this was gonna be a quick little project, but it turned out to be a nightmare. So it is what it is, and this is what's going on. If you guys have any comments on what I might have done wrong, leave it in the comments down below. But this is where we at. So see you guys on the next scene. So after a little bit of sanding and 1 coat, it's, by the way, it's the same exact day, we were able to get this done, and it looks just like the other ones. So it's a job well done. As you guys can see, I do not like painting, but I make things happen. It's very frustrating. A lot was done today, although it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but when you're painting, to me, is one of those things that it takes a lot of tricks and skill that takes time to develop, and it's just one of those things that I just want to get done and move on from it. But yeah, in the future I will be painting this door when it comes in, so there's gonna be more frustrating painting going on this channel in the future. So we finally got those stains clear. It used to be right around this area, and it was always in this area, but it's gone now. It hasn't bled through, so we don't have nothing to worry about. I don't recommend that paint from Behr. I'll leave a link into the description, the one that I do recommend, which is called Killz. When you apply it, it's thick, so it takes less coat. You could sometimes get it done with just 1 coat, so that's why I always recommend Killz. So yeah. On the next video, we're not gonna be working in the basement. We're gonna be working in my wife and my office, where I do all the editing. And what we're gonna be doing is switching out this switch and installing a USB outlet. USB outlet like this one. And the switch that we are going to be installing is this switch right here. I've showed in the channel before how to hook this up, but what I'm going to be doing differently is I'm going to show you guys not only how to mount it, but how to connect it to your Lutron Cressida system, and then how to connect it to your Alexa app, so you're able to shut off the lights with Alexa. So if you're interested in that, that's gonna be on the next video. So if you learned something new, you can show me by giving me a like. Any comments or questions, leave it in the comments down below. And if you're interested in seeing the basement come to an end, or more interesting projects like you saw today, consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. And I'm sorry for the frustrations in this video, but my goodness, I'm gonna say it again.
I hate painting.